All right, welcome back. Episode 12 of the Refractor Rants podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tommy, aka TV Sports Cards, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Max, aka Cards Max, aka Cards. We're fucking back, Max. Max, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I was just recounting with Tommy how many waking hours in a day that I go without thinking about sports cards, and the answer is probably zero. I go 0 full hours without thinking about a sports card. We're so back. I'm traveling. Tommy's saving the earth and the world. And maybe they're two different things. I don't know.
It's been a while since we've had a podcast.
You're going to drop on me that you don't work for sustainability anymore.
Yeah, I decided to start working for the oil companies.
Yeah, I'm big card and you're big oil.
Big oil and big card. How can we align those industries is the big question. But we're happy to be back. It was mainly my fault that we haven't had an episode in a while, but we're ready to just have fun talking about cards. And there's a lot of fun things to talk about these days in the card world. Some more fun than others. But Max, you've been doing your thing. You want to give the people just a quick check-in on your life and what life is like for you these days?
Nothing's changed. I still buy and sell cards at all hours of the day. This week I'm going to the West Coast Card Show, and it will be my 5th straight weekend traveling to a card show, which is exciting and fun. I'm buying cards at all times. I'm selling cards at all times. I had a ton of cards to grid in my sock drawer right now, which I'm gonna do as soon as I'm done with this podcast, probably, or something. And the hobby is alive, or something like that.
The hobby's alive in the sock drawer.
My hair is very alive. My hair just keeps poofing up.
Yeah, both of our hairs right now is going crazy for everyone watching.
Yeah, I mean, those YouTube watchers, all 3 of them are going to go crazy looking at how crazy my hair is. I have to keep adjusting it. It just isn't sticking.
When you say you're going to 5 straight weekends of card shows, are you still grinding out card shows from like 9 a.m. to like midnight? Is that how the day run a show goes for you? Or are you now going to bed a little earlier on these show nights?
It depends. Most of the shows that I've been to, so I guess the schedule has been Dallas in mid-January, Culture Collision, Pittsburgh, Nashville this past weekend, and this week was West Coast Card Show. Most of those have been 3 to 4 day shows where I land the day of, I sprint to the airport. I try to buy as much as possible, even though people are setting up. I'm not successful in that. I don't usually buy very much. Get dinner, relax, go to trade night if present. And for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows, I've been leaning on Saturday more often than not, just because it's slim pickings left in the room, as well as I want to make sure my spend per hour and my card show enjoyment per hour is relatively high. On Saturday and Sunday, those are where it lowers the least. Not that flight prices do matter, but also getting a Saturday flight out and not paying for an extra hotel room is also an extra incentive. So most of them have been Thursday through Saturday, give or take.
Well, I'm excited to see this summer at the National in Chicago. Everyone's hyped that it's back in the best sports card town in the country. Definitely not a hot take at all. I'm expecting, Max, if I don't stay up till at least 11 p.m. in Rosemont this summer, then I failed you. Is that fair?
Yeah, you're Mr. Early Bedtime and Mr. Cards halftime. You're not Mr. Cards full time.
In case anyone was wondering, I've still been buying all the cards on eBay. Still been doing all my things, but I've been getting kind of pissed off, Max, and that's why I'm really excited to talk to you.
I wonder what you could possibly be pissed about. I'm sure. Wait, just a quick question before you get into that. Are you going to the Shipshawana Card Show in 2 weeks?
I am going to Shipshawana in 2 weeks. I am going with my boy Errol, who spend the night Friday night. We're gonna go super hard Saturday. We're gonna hang out with my man Gaby Card Stacks. We're gonna see all the people. I'm gonna try to get in the backdrop as many Card Collector 2 video clips as possible. All the classic Shipshawana things, Max.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I've even sent you this privately, but I have some very funny Card Collector 2 cameos in both the pictures that he posted and in videos. I think I have to send it to you after the fact. But no, Ryan's a great guy. I say hi to him sometimes. Sometimes he says hi to me. But I've had some A+ cameos in just nonsense that I'm doing in the background of a clip.
I love whenever I'm scrolling on Instagram and then some card influencer has you in their videos talking to you physically. That's always my favorite thing. but I'll settle for a backdrop max
No,
appearance.
believe me, the backdrops are even better than when I talk. Something to revisit, I guess,
Yeah.
2, 3 weeks from now, because we're totally gonna be doing more episodes of this 2, 3 weeks from now, and we would never quit halfway through a new season, never.
Yeah.
One of my favorite card show stories that you've shared from me is not one that you've had, yourself, of course, but one that, Abby's had in I believe she flipped a Paige Becker's first Bowman pink
Yeah.
for from $20 to $30.
Yep.
Did I get the margin correct?
You did, but I had to break the news to her recently that that card at its peak, like a few months after that, was like $120
Yeah,
or something.
they're expensive. But, I'm interested in granted, Errol is more directly immersed into cards than Abby is,
Mhm.
but I'm interested if Errol can even if, the casual collector flipper hybrid, dollar box, pirate, Doug Trio, Digger, whatever, noun you wanna use to describe someone who dollar boxes, I'm interested in seeing if Errol will surpass that flip.
Yeah, I told him about the vibes of the Friday night at Shipshawana where it's kind of like a free for all with the tables, and I was like, you got to bring at least some cards that you are interested in potentially selling. He's like, I'm really only here to buy, and I'm like, just bring some just in case because you never know, and it's fun to sell cards even if you might not really want to sell the card that much. It's fun to be like, all right, well, I sold that card, so I can buy another card. So
Yeah, I still shame you for, getting rid of the Stephen Curry green mosaic numbered pack pulled CSG label match. Pennies on the dollar.
that's a callback to season point five of Young Old Heads. So I don't know. I have been selling some cards, just consolidation season. I have just been all in, Max, on just the things I've been buying, the things that I was talking about. I have not changed my interest, though. I am buying more women's basketball cards. Speaking of, I was gonna go into things that I hate, but let's go into things that we love first, Max. WNBA Prizm, Caitlin Clark Prizm non-monopoly cards are finally coming out. I'm fired up. I've been kind of stashing some Caitlin Clark cards, just dabbling, picking and choosing. My best one, I think, is the '06 Bowman throwback X-Fractor, which I'm hyped about just because I love the old school Bowman look. But Prism's out. They also had Origins earlier in the year. We had Prizm Monopoly. We've gotten Prizm draft picks, collegiate 2.5 years after graduation for half the people in the set. But finally getting Prizm basketball for WNBA. Max, how hyped are you? Scale 1 to 10.
Like a 7, only because I haven't really seen many cards from True Prism yet,
Mm-hmm.
and that, I'm poor, and that I'm gonna blow as much money as I can on Prism WNBA, but I'm buying and I'm selling and I'm weaving and conniving and I'm having a lot of fun. But I don't know if you've seen that there was a Caitlin Clark cherry blossom that hit eBay for everything else. Mr. Skeleton Cards, Jason Dardick is texted me it, and I'm like, oh my god. The next thing you know, the card gets delisted. I don't know how much it went for privately or not,
Mm.
but Caitlin Clark Prism is going to be very, very expensive.
Yeah, I've seen you posting a lot of Caitlin Clark cards. Are you dabbling in any other players in women's basketball? Maybe a little Paige Beckers, a
Yeah,
little.
I've always messed with. I've always bought and sold Paige Becker's basketball cards. I'd say like I'm pretty. I guess it's just her and Caitlin I've dealt the most, and it's way more Caitlin, and then the occasional Juju Watkins, and then the more occasionally infrequent Cam Brink. But I think it's really just those 4 players, and Caitlin is the clear number 1, then Paige, then
Mhm.
Juju.
Angel Reese doesn't seem as liquid as a
Yeah, well,
Angel card would.
there's politics and sports podcasts you can get into that. This is not a sports analysis podcast.
Not a sports analysis podcast. And we're definitely not a technology uh, analysis podcast either, but a lot of cards are coming out, Max, from Panini, especially their downtowns from this last year. And they all have like AI generated little bits to them. You got the vertical lines on the football field for the yardage markers, not horizontal. You got like dudes with 3 fingers. You got dudes that don't look superhuman. You're a downtown fanatic at previous lives.
Certainly not.
You used to be the king of Josh Giddey downtowns, which
Okay,
is
I
kind of
accept. I accept
problematic.
my NBA downtown praise.
Yeah, NBA downtowns
No
only.
roasties.
not as much in the NFL. But do you have any thoughts, Max? I know you're, as a transactor of cards, as long as the dollars are making sense for you, you're going to buy the cards. But as a person who's not an AI generated human, what do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's true. Contrary to popular belief, I am a real human being, and I always will be. I think people respect downtowns, and you can make fun of downtown collectors for being the lowest common denominator. At the end of the day, this really shouldn't be a hot take. They're the PMGs of Gen Alpha and late Gen Z
Mm-hmm.
and newer collectors, and cards that fundamentally no one cared about back then suddenly surge because of the hype and nostalgia. You're
Mm-hmm.
already seeing it in your 2018 football downtowns and your very early Panini Absolute Kabooms, which everyone already knows already, and they already cost the moon and back.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are diminishing the quality of what is acceptable for a sports card, I think that will limit the long-term potential. Not that there's many long-term potentials in any way, but the long-term potential of downtowns being collected for their entire lifespan, because granted Panini is losing the license very soon,
Mm-hmm.
towards maybe just the early downtowns where yes, the print run is drastic and those will always would have been the cream of the crop, but really tarnishing what is acceptable for designs of a sports card will damage the long-term collectability of them when these people eventually get nostalgic.
It's kind of ironic considering like there was a couple years ago that Justin Herbert downtown that had like some artwork from someone who was not accredited with, wasn't paid by Panini for their artwork, and it was included on Justin Herbert downtown. And I can totally imagine the Panini boardroom going, "What is the cheapest way to create these cards possible? Just feed this shit into AI and just see what comes out." Which I don't know. It really changes the difference between like what someone can make on their computer and what Panini's putting out. Like we all have access to the same AI database generator things, and me or you could go in there and describe a downtown and probably get something that looks pretty similar to that versus the history of like Diamond Kings baseball with that dude. Well, it doesn't really help that I don't know his name, but I'm sure dudes that are older than us remember the guy's name who made all those Diamond King cards. And there's an element of art to it on that level when you know it's a person making the card and having some thought into it versus the AI generation, which just pisses me off, Max. It pisses me off that Panini's down to cut corners. But again, as a business, they're just trying to do what's going to be the cheapest, most cost effective thing for them, especially as they're running out the clock on their licenses, which I mean, we should have expected this. But I feel like as long as the printers are keep going, people are going to want to try to create these cards as cheaply as possible. It's just, it just is annoying.
Retweet.
Retweet. You are a aficionado, Max, of grading
Some may say.
and condition sensitivity.
Sometimes.
I've been seeing a lot of talk of pop control.
Okay.
I saw
Right.
you do a tweet the other day, maybe it was today. You were like, it's actually just as easy to get a PSA 9 or PSA 10 today than it was 6 or 12 months ago. Can you
Yes.
elaborate a little bit on this?
Yeah, I can elaborate on it. I'm pretty sure Nat Turner did a tweet that I can't find, or made a comment somewhere stating that that the text language on PSA's website of a PSA 10 changed from 60/40 to 55/45, but that this was effectively already a formality in the grading room for several months, if not years, since the Collectors Universe acquisition of PSA or the privatization of it, or however the technical jargon is. Um, uh, Chicken Little, Sky is Falling, nothing to really analyze. 2024 Prism is tough to grade, but that's because it itself is a condition sensitive test with some poor quality control.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I just grew up the 65% gem rate order on bulk. That made me feel good because that's better than not having gems.
Mhm.
You never know what's going to come in, and there's always greater by greater variance. But at the same time, it's not like PSA woke up one day, said, I'm going to grade harsher, and then went back to bed just to anger people, which is what conspiratorial people wish will happen. But it's a slow news day when people are complaining about PSA being a tough, difficult grader.
Yeah, I feel like that is my least favorite things to see on social media is people posting a picture of a card and going, "How did this get this grade?" And it's like, yeah, no shit. You're posting a literal like iPhone photo of a card. That's not how someone determines a grade. Um, but yeah, you're the expert, Max. I'll believe what you say. What are you grading these days? What's like what was in this most recent submission? What are we
Yeah,
talking?
lots of a little bit of Topps Chrome, a little bit of Bowman Chrome, some Paul Skeens, some Churrios, some Jason Dominguez. It's always fun when the part of the year shifts from grading football cards to grading baseball cards because it's just a game of availability.
Mhm.
I did gem a pretty cool Tom Brady Peacock Choice Super Bowl MVPs 2020 and 2022. That came back 8 PSA 10. I always like those little oddball cards or cards that you don't see often. I think I gemmed a few unique cards from Mosaic, including a Tyrese Maxey white fluorescent to 20 that got a PSA 10, as well as a Tyrese Halliburton gold Mosaic, the 10 PSA 10. So getting some gems that isn't always the super new cards is always exciting. Um, and I think I've tweeted this scans of them before, but yeah, those are some of the cooler cards I thought. Off
I,
the
I remember you're always in the flip the switch mode during the football playoffs. I feel like you're like I'm gonna get into baseball before the spring training hype starts hitting. And I now that we've been hanging out, being friends long enough, Max, I understand your cyclical nature of your buying and selling a little bit better.
Oh, it
Um,
entirely isn't out of deliberate intent and entirely, I know I just said the same word, but with a different pronounced prefix. It's entirely just the release schedule. And when we're in the winter in Q4 and Q1, Tops, or I guess Fanatics technically prints out a lot of lower end products with autographs. Bowman's
yeah,
Best, well, not Gold Label anymore because that got axed. Um, there was the Bowman Chrome, the Bowman Drafts, the Topps Chrome updates, those gilded.
yep. And I think they've been doing a good job of kind of sunsetting these sets that I think are kind of dumb, like Gold Label and stuff like that. But um, Max, I think the people want to play a game right
Oh,
now.
do they?
The people want it, and I am people. But the game is this cool or is this not cool? And this
Okay.
is about 2025 Top Series 1. I think people probably were expecting us to lead off with this topic, but it is rumored that flagship black parallels are dead. Eulogy aside, Topps flagship blacks are dead. Something that me and you have long loved and talked about ad nauseum in previous episodes. So don't need to talk about the history of Topps blacks too much here. But me personally, as an owner of about 140 different flagship black cards in my collection, bummed that I'm not going to see those going forward. But they have rolled out some new looking cards this year for the parallels, and I want to get your thoughts, Max. Number one is they're rolling out a wood parallel limited to 25. It looks like a card that is literally potentially wood
Yeah, buns.
grains,
Next one.
buns,
Buns.
and you didn't give them any credit for the fact that their promo for this parallel had James Wood on it, so it's a wood
Good.
written.
Sounds awful. Next.
Next, all right. Next we got all new player number variations limited to each player's jersey number.
Mid.
Mid? All right, so
Mid.
there's only 30 people on this checklist.
Mid.
And they are a lot
Swipe,
of
swipe
mid
left.
players.
Swipe left.
Swipe left, swipe left. I think so too. I'm so tired of that. It also just doesn't look cool. Like
Okay,
just
hit me with the next one. I'm going into
next
this blind.
next one is 35th anniversary 1990 Tops no name error cards for the inserts in series 1. There are no name cards for all 100 subjects in this insert set, and each card is limited to 30 copies for the no name error cards. This is obviously a tribute to the Frank Thomas 1990 no name error card. That's one of like the most valuable, if not the most valuable junk wax card. Limited to 35, which arbitrary says who? Super arbitrary. What do you feel, Max? Oh, wait, 35th anniversary. Check me. Not totally arbitrary, but still semi arbitrary.
Sounds cool, but poor execution, and like they're doing it just for the sake of doing it. 1990 Tops is an ugly design. I mean, it's the best thing that you've said yet. I'm giving it a mid AF, but
Mid AF
mid
will see.
AF. They're getting rid of flagship blacks. Look, and longtime listeners of the podcast remember that I was giving praise to taco fractors and praise to frozen fractors when they came out because there was some trying to reinvent the wheel in a good way, even though that expression has a negative connotation. There's some innovation in what we consider baseball cards, but it's been nonstop and relentless with every single release, and it dilutes what being a parallel means in this day and age. We do not need the Boo Fractor. We do not need the Easter Egg Fractor. We do not need the Buns jersey number parallel when most this doesn't help. Like, okay, you have two people that engage with cards, and Tommy's neither of them. You're a little kid, or you're someone who likes to make money, and these parallels don't help out either of those demographics. Little Timmy, who's just turned 6, is not going to be excited that his Mookie Betts cards has some Easter eggs on it.
He's not even going to notice.
Yeah, 6-year-olds can't read nowadays.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing. I don't. Now that we have a year in reflection, why did they get rid of the taco fractor? You know, granted, it probably was some lease with Taco Bell. They I'm sure it had to have lost the money, giving a year's worth of life's worth of Taco Bell, even though it wasn't really that many tacos. Life's worth of Taco Bell for the very little PR that Taco Bell actually got. But imagine a Yankees Dodgers World Series where there's 100,000 idiots that are way more excited than not to find out who has the first stolen base.
Yeah,
I would have been so locked in just as a spectator.
Yeah, I would have too. I think I would guess that what you said about Taco Bell not getting any press for it was kind of like the main killer. Like they're probably in their room going, "Should we do this collab with Topps again?" Did we get any articles written about this really at all? No, other than niche card related websites. Like, why would we do this again? It makes no sense.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Bring back the taco fractor. I'm not satisfied until Topps does such that.
Which is actually the first comment on the next set that I got. This is from Topps's tweet about this other card that I'm going to get your opinion on. And the first reply is bring back taco fractors this year. No likes though. So it doesn't seem like there's that many people on board, but I'm here for it. But maybe diversify. Give me a McDonald's fractor. Put that in fucking McDonald's All-American Chrome basketball or something. I don't know.
I'm going to interrupt this program just to say that the taco fractor sales are still incredibly high.
Yeah, because they only did 1 year.
Javier Baez, $170 in January 2nd, 2025. Gabriel Arias, rookie, taco fractor, $180. Matt Olson, $200. Cody Bellinger, $190. You can't win tacos from these anymore. I don't think that. When is the last time a Cody Bellinger card that's a non-rookie or first Roman has sold for over $200? That's not a taco fractor. I'm going to be cracking the stats as we speak right now.
I'm trying to think of what parallel might have done that. Maybe a home field advantage superfractor or something for a Cubs fan. If he's
and I'm not counting autographs or 101s. Sorry, doesn't count.
So a non-101.
Non-101, non-auto is 3 months earlier. The Travis Scott Cactus Jack Cody Bellinger out of 10 did $300. And then a PSA 10 Kaboom did $250.
PSA 10 Kaboom?
$250 in January. I don't know if that counts because it's a PSA 10.
Yeah, non-PSA 10. Let's get even more niche.
PSA 10, non-auto, 1 of 1. 2016 Bowman Prospect Red to 5 did $200 in November. This is awful. Diamond Kings downtown Cody Bellinger PSA 10 did $200 in October. Then another Cody Bellinger Kaboom. Then a Cody Bellinger Color Blast downtown. Oh my God, this is just crazy that there's more Panini cards, non-auto, non-101s that have done over $200, non-rookie, of Cody Bellinger than there are Topps cards.
I like that you were doing this as kind of a bit, but it's actually giving a lot of insight into Topps's inability to make rare in demand inserts.
Wait, this is fascinating. The most recent top outside of Red out of 5s, just because Red out of 5 has been the common theme. Mm-hmm. It has been Frozen Fractor -2 of 0 from 2023 Topps Chrome to $250.
So you're telling me that basically the most in-demand cards that Topps has put out that are newer cards are the Taco Fractors and the Frozen Fractors?
And outside of your Topps Chrome Reds, yes.
Yeah, well, those they've been making those though. That's not a new thing.
Yeah, in order to get past like a non-kaboom, non-downtown, non-red out of five, I think if I'm not mistaken. So like the qualifier I'm using here is like no panini case hit, no Topps Chrome. This might be a huge tangent, but I hope you love it because that's why you're listening to this. No reds, no panini, no autographs, no rookie,
No
um,
Bowman.
no prospect. But even though the only prospect card was one red,
Mhm.
um, the two most recent card sales that I see of a Cody Bellinger are a 2021 Topps Project 70 Artist's Proof for $200 on January 2024 of Matt Taylor, I think is the artist just going off the dome. And then you have to scroll all the way back to a 2022 sale of Cody Bellinger's Orange Wave PSA 10 for $800. And that sounds fake, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fake. Wait, all right.
Granted, Cody Bellinger is like pretty awful at baseball. I mean, he's had ups and downs. No, he wasn't awful this year. But point being, if we're looking at a random, I mean, not systemically random, but for not have any predetermination why we selected him. Red out of five, Taco Fractor, Frozen Fractor. What is Panini? What is they effectively are Panini? What is Fanatics bringing to the table here?
Yeah, like they've tried with those. What was those inserts in Topps Chrome this year that looked like color blasts a little bit? What did they
Oh,
call
the
those?
helixes.
Yeah, those
We don't
those
talk about that. No, we after I lose $8,500 on a Brady Helix 101 Superfractor, we don't talk about helixes anymore.
I saw you post that. I was wondering how that ended up turning out.
Yeah, I lost a fuck ton of money. That's my biggest loss in sports cards ever. But like that's
Yeah,
part of the fun.
yeah, it's because Topps can't make a cool insert that people actually want after
But
like a week.
fascinatingly, the part of it is the 101 Superfractor coils just don't show well because the Paul Skeen sold at Golden very recently for $2,800 Superfractor 101.
That seems like a deal considering his market.
You can't really find a Superfractor of his like under 5K.
Yeah, so that's
It's just that
crazy.
the card looks so it barely displays the superfractor coils.
Can we continue on if it's cool or not with you real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Next
Top
up,
refractors are super like.
yeah,
Everything else has been swipe left.
we've we've gone back that you actually have a great vibe check on what people are going to want in like 6 to 12 months versus like instantly on release. So trust Max's opinion if something's cool. All right, tops. First look, 2025 Topps Series 1 features rare short print cards of the Los Angeles Dodgers dancing their way to a World Series championship. The Dancing Dodgers set includes 10 cards and is a hobby exclusive. Who's chasing the entire set? Not me, obviously,
Not
but first,
me.
yeah, fuck you, Topps, because this would have been the perfect opening day short print insert set ever. The most perfect opening day set, but you killed it. You killed opening day, you killed flagship blacks.
Perfect subset for opening day. Don't really care about it. Just TBHing. I don't think I've cared about a modern baseball card since like 2020, and that's not a me collecting issue. That's the product's been pretty bad issue. Um,
Yeah.
the Fanatics has further widened the gap from Topps Chrome and Topps Sapphire to every other lesser product. I think they're trying to make Topps paper irrelevant, and black might have been a move to do so to make
Mm,
paper irrelevant entirely, to just make it a set for kids. Maybe that's good for business, maybe it's not.
mhm.
But we're killing the rookie card. No one cares about base. Maybe that's good long term. Maybe it isn't. Maybe we just need our numbered cards. This is a pretty expensive base card I'm holding in my hand. This is a Tom Brady Bowman Chrome. This is a base card. This is a pretty expensive base card, and that's when base cards used to be rare. But I don't know what they're doing. The parallels aren't cool. I don't really care about the lava lamp autographs at all. Topps Chrome update autographs no longer have rookie debut on it. Might have been a smart move and something that was always coming, but doesn't really make sense because now every player just has two autographs. I don't really know.
Have you owned any MLB debut patches yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not good at cards.
You're not good at cards. You're not that cool. I know Stack and Sell had his hands on one. That was pretty sick to see.
Yes, he had the Colton Cowser.
Yeah, but I feel like Tops is like It's all in the golden ticket idea for them now. As long as there's like a chase card that can get them at least one ESPN headline on the third page of the website, they're going to roll with that. That's going to be what they hang their hat on. I still don't think that the Durant, Curry, LeBron triple auto has surfaced, right? That's still not surfaced.
Well, I mean, someone should just buy all the packs on eBay.
I think, no, wait. I thought someone pulled it. I thought it got redeemed.
Hasn't.
Has not been redeemed. Okay.
Has not, to my knowledge, has not been redeemed.
Have you seen? I don't know what set they're supposed to put these out at, but
I'm looking at it. There's one pack on, there's one pack on eBay, and they're asking 50K.
What?
Or at least one pack that I can find.
Dude, at that point, go buy 2009 Topps basketball and try to pull the Steph Curry Super Refractor. That's what you gotta do.
Well, no, that's different. And I think the story behind 2009 Topps Chrome is really interesting, and that I've read either on social media or message boards or somewhere that they gave out hobby boxes of Topps Chrome 2009 to
I
what do you
told you.
say?
I told you this. This is for sure on an old episode of this podcast.
Okay,
I
cool.
guarantee
Well,
you.
it very well could be, but I like the story, so
Yeah.
I'm going to steal it from Tommy.
Yeah.
In that NBA executives were given boxes of 2009 Topps Chrome because they were cheap and fun, and it's very possible that they ripped open the packs, pulled a Steph Curry Super Fractor, and threw it in the garbage with all the other base cards.
Yeah, you are correct there. That's why there's so few. Oh, wait, also shout out that set for being parallel to hoops this year. They just pulled out 2024-25 NBA hoops. And they finally did what everyone had always hoped that they would do, which is they put premium stock hoops as actually just like an insert set and regular hoops. So you can open up a pack and get like a nice chromium parallel in your hoop set that is not just all paper. Max, were you aware of this collation update?
I was not, but that's pretty cool. I support
Yeah. So you can start looking up Bronny James hoops premium cards already on eBay. So that'll take the rest of your night away. All right, last thing, Max. Last thing for is it cool or not? Have you heard of liquid gold cards?
I haven't.
Apparently, Topps has, and also classic Topps roll out here, but apparently they have a new card technology, quote unquote, called liquid gold. These cards are going to be some sort of like really shiny liquid gold, as they say. But they only put scans of these cards up, which everyone knows that the true test of how cool a shiny card is if you can do a little reflection with the light. I'm surprised that you haven't heard of these yet, Max, but apparently Topps is trying to innovate again. We'll have to keep tabs on that one.
On my bar, I think I'm not expecting anything good.
And that's about the level of expectation. Did you see they at least got Mookie Betts to start signing autographs again?
I didn't, and he's a tough signing for them to get.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty respectable.
Yep.
All right, Max. Anything else that we didn't touch on that we need to hit on?
For eBay buys.
I think it is. Are you still buying cards on eBay? Are you still transparent about what you buy and how much you pay for it?
Sometimes a little bit.
Right.
I don't know. I got some cards on my desk. I guess I bought this. This is a Paul Skeens Bowman Sterling red out of 5 auto. It's in a Topps redemption case. I liked it. And I'm buying some Paul Skeens. The aforementioned Tom Brady Bowman Chrome. I think I paid 6.4 on this, and I think one just hit 7.8 last night, so maybe I'll make some money there. I don't know. Bought this in a big lot. This is cool. John Morant green out of 5 PSA 10. No sales, which makes it fun. I feel like Tommy was asking about show culture and buying and selling because he doesn't buy and sell himself. Fucking nerd. But I feel like there's the world of buying and selling cards with comps and then buying and selling cards without comps. One of those is way harder than the other. And like that John Morant, I recently bought a Jackson Holiday Jackson Holiday Logo Man from Transcendent 1 of 1. That card has no comps, no clue what it's worth, but I don't know. We'll see if I fleece myself or not. But those are some cards I bought this week. Some from eBay, some not.
Wait, what set though? If you're talking
Transcendent.
Oh, Transcendent. Okay. What is that? Is Dynasty considered like the top logo man in baseball?
Kinda. I don't know. I think it's a bit up for grabs. So we're baseball card rating right now. Transcendent ditched the gold frames entirely, and they upped the boxes. I believe from it's either from 100 boxes to 1,000 or from 1,000 boxes to 10,000. I don't know which.
Damn.
Um, and the invitations are no longer guaranteed to the Topps exclusive party, and the cards are everything is game used. A lot of that autographs, and I think it's them trying to pivot and making a flawless or a NT,
Yeah.
and I think this is a good pivot by them with to ditch the gold frames, make it less of a gimmick for a party that only rich people can buy to a premier breaking product. Try to make the logo man relevant, and I like it.
Yeah. Tops is trying to do their own version of NT and Flawless, then, I guess, with Dynasty in that one, I guess. All right. I sold a bunch of cards on eBay, Max, since we last spoke.
9 months.
No, I found last year. I'm just going to go through last year with you for a
Okay, I
second.
was gonna say, yeah.
2012 Panini Preferred booklet. It's a game used booklet. There's 8 NBA players on this. One of them is Clay. Just like couldn't figure out where to store it. It just always ended up being something that was really annoying for me to like try to fit in a box.
Hmm.
And it was annoying enough where I was like, I'm just gonna sell it. How much do you think this sold for? I think the most famous player on it is Clay, or like, yeah, all game used relics. It says buckets.
What's that?
Panini Preferred 2012.
The best players, Clay.
Yeah, and like Ray Allen's also on it, and Manu.
150
150? 51 bucks.
booklet, 51 bucks. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, not autographed.
I know, but like those OG booklets people like.
I sold a Jordan Poole card for 30 bucks. My best sell though of the whole thing, my whole year, was Ryan Williams, that like 18-year-old wide receiver for Alabama. I ordered I ordered a box of On It Northwestern football cards, and
Mhm.
this was just a free bonus card that you got when ordering anything on the site that day. And I sold the card for 40 bucks on eBay. So it was a free card that I ended up netting 40 bucks, or not netting, but like got 40 bucks for, which is pretty nice. But let's go through what I bought. Max, big news. Maximum Refractor Rants alarms are going off right now because Tommy just finished a set, and I don't think I've ever built a set formally. But I bought the last card I needed in the Topps American Heritage Chrome out of 1776 set. Martin Luther King Jr. out of 1776 for $27 shipped, which was a little bit more than the last sale, but I said fuck it because it's the last card you need in this set, Max. You got to buy it. It just has to be bought.
Yes.
Um, if you're not buying Pat Spencer basketball cards right now, you're losing in life. This is
Who?
Pat Spencer.
I don't know who that is.
So Pat Spencer is a point guard for the Warriors, third string point guard, who won the Heisman Trophy of college lacrosse 5 years ago. So he was the best college lacrosse player in the country, transferred to Northwestern to play his 5th year of college playing basketball, and now is playing in the NBA for the Warriors, about to be playing in the Rising Stars game next week at the All-Star game. So he has a G League card from 2021 Panini G League, which only came out in like a 100-card set, which also includes, Max, look up the sales while I'm talking, of LiAngelo Ball's G League autograph card.
What set is it?
2021 Panini G League LiAngelo Ball. I bought that. So Pat Spencer's G League card had never sold on eBay, or at least like only like a few of them had, and just not recently. So I bought it for $5 when it was listed, and I expect that
Well,
to
the
happen.
ball is like 50 to 75 bucks.
Yeah, because of that new song that dropped.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Um, it's his only auto, I believe. That's not maybe Leaf. What's the last card you added to the bunker?
I don't know.
You haven't added any cards recently? You don't have any cards on the PC that you've added?
The bunker is the bunker.
Well, I do. I have one card for you that I hope ends up making it into the bunker, but I don't know. I'm gonna
Who?
wait to give it to you though until the national, I think.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
'Cause
Yeah, for your 2 card shows that you go to a year.
hey, I'm going to Shipshawana.
That's true. I've been to as many card shows in the past month as you've been to in your life.
I'm not only going to a card show this month, Max. I am traveling out of state and staying overnight and paying for a hotel room to go to a card show.
Yeah, just as you did with the last most recent card show you went to, which was Shipshewana in May.
No, I went to one. I went to a local show like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and I drove like an hour, and that was a grind. I drove an hour to a car show.
Again, dude, I have 0 hours in the 24-hour span outside of
Any uh,
anything.
any crazy travel stories, Max, recently where you've had to deal with some fuckers?
No, I'm just living with greeting cards.
I know, I know. Well, what is your parting thoughts? You got to give the people your parting thoughts before we head out.
If you think it, it will happen.